Hi there, my name's Mark, physical therapist with Chesapeake Bay Aquatic and Physical Therapy. I'm going to be talking to you about the role of controlled internal rotation of the hips. So, showing is the easiest way to explain it, right? If I have a patient and they come into me and they show me their squat or they show me how they're coming up steps, right, and I see one of these knees kind of caving in, right, that is both genu-valgum, knock knee, right, that's kind of layman's term, and then internal rotation is when that thigh turns inward. Generally, these two happen at the same time. We try and avoid that for most of my patients. However, for my athletes, right, this is a pretty common position, right? If you're going into a backhand, if you are an ice hockey goalie, right, and you have to go down for a save, you're going to get that internal rotation with a little genu-valgum, which we don't really like seeing in our general population. That being said, athletes are more at risk for ACL tears, which Ron and Danielle are doing a series on. You can find that on both our Instagram and our YouTube page. That ACL tears are generally a non-contact injury due to this motion here, right? So what can we do to have control with this motion, right? We're going to demonstrate a couple exercises, right? Involving both the hip hinge and rotary stabilization techniques so that you can make sure that when you go through these movements during your game, during your practice, that you're using the correct muscles to initiate the correct sequence, right? Most of my athletes are pretty strong, right? They've been training for X amount of years, they're very good at their sport, they're always looking to get better, but it's more so about the correct sequencing the correct muscles, right? In the correct order. I call it like a concert, right? Everyone has to be in sync, working together. We can't have one over-dominating the other. So we're going to fill this in a few parts, right? So there's going to be a couple of jump cuts, but stay tuned. All right, the first exercise we're going to demonstrate is a hip hinge-based rotation stability exercise, right? This will be more so for rotational sports that rely on hitting low. So golf, hockey, tennis as well, right? Depending upon how low you're going for the forehand, potentially. That being said, right, we've got our anchor set low. If I am looking to hit to the left, right, so I am coming up into this position, right, I'm a left-handed shot. What we're going to do is we're going to put the tubing into our left hand, onto our right shoulder, and then I'll cross my other arm underneath. From there, I've got that hip hinge, I stick my butt back, and I can do this in one of two ways, right? This is kind of testing to see what am I actually using, right? If I do it this way here, right, I feel strain on my back immediately, right? I haven't even gotten into the full shot, but I feel strain on my back. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and squeeze that left glute as hard as I can as I come through this movement, right? So that I can square my chest to where I'm aiming, and then I control it back. There's less back strain, and it feels effortless almost, right? It feels a lot easier than what I was trying the first time, right? So first, what we practice is mastering the movement, right? Getting the right sequence down, right? Squeeze through the glute, push through that left foot, and then I come up, and then I come down, right? From here, we can always add power or speed, right? That now that I've got this slow, controlled movement down, I can add power. So here we go. Power through. Power through. Power through. So, if we switch hands now, I'm a right-handed shot now. Cross, come under, get that hip hinge. Again, if I come, right, I'm just using my back now. That's just a lot of strain on me. From here, going to be my right glute now, right, where I squeeze, power through. Squeeze, power through. So we have been talking about internal rotation, right? My right hip is going into internal rotation as I follow through. But there's not a significant collapse inwards. I am just trying to make sure that it is controlled internal rotation. Here we go, right? We can add a little speed. But if you feel that as you come up, you immediately lose your balance, there's some stability concerns that also need to be addressed, right? That we do have to slow you down. Get those glutes firing, keep that core engaged, and then be able to return to that position without loss of balance before we can add speed. We all want to be fast. We all want to be powerful, right? We all want to have that crazy fast, strong shot. You can't fire a cannon from a canoe, though. You got to have a stable base. So the next exercise we're going to use here is a single leg rotational stability exercise. Again, working on controlled internal rotation with a return to external rotation. So what I'm doing is I got my band here. I'm just going to spin around. So I'm using my left arm here to support the band so it's not resting on my ribs because that's not comfortable. So if it's wrapped around my left arm, I'm going to pick up my left leg. So what the band wants to do, if I didn't have adequate control, is that it wants for me to fall into internal rotation. It wants to pull me towards the anchor. So I have to be able to use that right glute to maintain a neutral position. This might be the start of the exercise for you, right? Working on that single limb stance where you're not locking your knee out, you're not flailing all over the place, right? Maybe have a little bit of a hip hinge and you're not relying on your back for support. From there we can add movement, right? Where we fall into that controlled internal rotation so we can externally rotate out. Controlled internal rotation, into external rotation, right? Back and forth. From there, right, maybe we're working on control with jumping, right? So that when we land, we don't go into internal rotation and that knock knee posture, right? So maybe we add a little hop, right? And you can see there, right, I failed a little bit. It pulled me right back there. So for myself, I need a little more dynamic work. So again, if I try this again, right, really going to concentrate on sticking this landing, that was a little better, right? Maybe I can't jump as high this time. From there, one more time. Ooh, right? So I do need a little stability work. So if I just spin this around now, we're going to test my other side. Same thing, it's now wrapped around my right shoulder, so I'm going to pick up my right leg. I'm right-handed. I know when, in most of the athletic endeavors, right, that I'm right-handed or right-legged, and as a result, my left leg tends to be a little under-trained, right? Underutilized. So I'm already struggling a little bit just to maintain my balance. I can feel my foot working more, and my left buttock is already starting to fatigue. But I go through that same progression, right? Trying to control that internal rotation, and I'm struggling. I can feel that left knee falling inwards and then back. So for my left side, I'm going to have to just work on holding this position for time, developing that good brain-body connection, and developing a little endurance. Maybe, right, that in the static position now, right, where my body isn't moving, once this feels comfortable, I incorporate something with my right leg, right? Let's say I'm a soccer player, and that my right leg is my striking leg, and my left leg is my support leg. Maybe this is where I start kicking a ball, or simulate kicking a ball, so that I can continue working on that stability. My foot's on fire. My glutes are on fire. If you have any questions or concerns, you give us a call, and we'll check you out. Chesapeake Bay Aquatic and Physical Therapy. Find us at our website on Facebook, Instagram, as well as here on YouTube. Thanks so much. Stay safe. Be well.